It took me a week to almost do this video and film this video because it really made me kind of reflect on how long I've been doing this and really reflect, not just reflect on how to get you results and what really works, which we're going to talk about that in a second, but it made me reflect on a couple things. One, it made me reflect on YouTube and this channel, okay, the vision of the channel. And this is what I want you to do really fast. Comment below and introduce yourself. Now, you can introduce yourself. You can say what's working for you. You can say what's not working for you, your struggles, but introduce yourself, because the whole point of this channel is a community. The whole point of this channel is everybody helps everybody and to get you results, okay? To help you live life in your terms. You call the shots, okay? So that's the main thing that I reflected on. And the second thing I reflected on was really myself. I kind of started this journey. Now, I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always been in business. I've always done that stuff. But I think it was back in around 2014. So this is 2026 right now. So it's been 12 years. And how I got into this work was back in 2014, I started asking myself questions like, what makes the successful successful? Okay, what makes the ultra successful successful? Okay, what makes the rich rich? Okay, not just that they make a lot of money. Okay, and that brings in the manifesting bubble, because the manifesting bubble relates to success. So that's what started my whole journey, and this kind of led to me thinking about my life. You understand? Because that's the ticking time bomb here a little bit, is what's really holding you back. It's not the great big things that you do. It's the secret you. You understand? Let me give you an example here really fast. Is like when I was growing up, I was kind of like the black sheep of my family. And I wasn't the black sheep in a negative way. I was a black sheep in a positive way. Like for me, like growing up, the farthest I could think back is I always wanted to have a different life. I always wanted to do things that most people don't do. I've always wanted to live a life that most people don't live. You understand? And that right there, my friends, is 100% true. Okay? I've always done things and lived my life that most people don't do, most people don't experience. You understand? I've competed professionally in martial arts. I wanted to move to California. Coming from a small town in Ohio. Once I made a decision, I just upped and did it. I lived in California for 18 years. I worked in the entertainment industry. I love to travel, so I started to travel all around. Even then, a few years ago, several years ago, I wanted to live abroad and experience that. Now I'm in Thailand, up in the Seren village. And those are just kind of like simple examples, but I wanted to live a life that most people don't have, that most people don't experience, especially if you're coming from a small town. Okay? All that stuff came true. But there's also another side of me, my friends. Okay, there's almost like there's two yous. If there's two yous out there, there's a successful version of Chad that gets everything he wants, and there's another version of Chad that contradicts this version. Okay, so the opposite side of me is kind of the negative side of me, kind of those deep-rooted beliefs we've learned as a kid that hinders and alters us from living our dream life, from living life on our terms, okay? And for me, like I can remember when I was a kid, okay, my dad was very, very overbearing, okay? You did what he wanted you to do. He was very, very strict, okay? And I mean, it wasn't that he was very strict until you were like 9, 10 years old. I mean, as long as you lived under his household, he was crazy strict, okay? If you were younger, if you got out of line, you got the belt. You understand? If you were older, you got out of line. Okay, he was the type of person that's like, well, I'll take you outside and show you you're not a big man. You understand? Okay, and this went on until honestly in my early 20s, because I was going to college and I would come home and live after college. So, kind of being that way, kind of like growing up with somebody's really overbearing, it causes you to become an empath. Okay, I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole of that. Uh, but it also causes you, like when you're growing up, you never had the confidence in yourself. You understand? Because you had somebody telling you what to do over you. Okay, and that's exactly the identity of me growing up, is that dad made the decisions. You dropped everything you wanted to do what dad wanted you to do. Okay. So mind you, kind of being as an adult, you can kind of fathom or guess, the bad habits that I have is you always have that need of someone kind of throwing rules on top of you. Okay. You always backpedal. Okay. You always give in. Even if you have standards, boundaries, and non-negotiables, you don't really push them. Okay. Like for me, I'm talking about me here, is you're not used to making your own decisions because dad always made decisions for you. Okay. You're not used to being confident in your decisions. You know what I mean? So, and you're not used to having direction of your own life because you're so used to somebody else steering that direction. That's another side of me. That's a side of me that contradicts this side where it looks like, I'm getting everything I want, but there's another old version of me that's been with me for a long, long time, since my childhood, that contradicts that. Okay. And this is the deal. Okay. We're going to get ready. I'm going to tell you exactly what works. Okay. Exactly what works for me. But in this, I'm not going to give you like a 24-hour manifesting technique. Okay. Chad, just get to the point and tell me what works. Okay. Because that stuff don't work. Okay. The stuff I'm going to tell you, it's easy and it's simple, but it still takes work. Okay. It still takes dedication from you. It still takes persistence and not giving up from you. Okay. But other than that, let's get rocking and rolling on this. There's only 4 things I want to share with you here. And the first thing here is what you really, really have to understand is whatever you assume to be true, you have to experience. That's the ultra truth, my friends. Whatever you assume to be true for you, you have to manifest in your life. And what I'm talking about here, I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about your deep-rooted beliefs. What you really believe to be true, you have to experience. Listen to my story I told you before. Like, when I was growing up, I always wanted to live a life that most people don't live. I always wanted to do things that most people don't do because I was from a small town. And all those things came true in my life because they were deep-rooted beliefs in me, what I really wanted to do. And I experienced all of them. And I still experience all of them because that side of me, that stuff comes easy. Now, there's another side of me that it doesn't come so easy. But on that side, it comes easy because it's my deep-rooted beliefs. But it's my deep-rooted beliefs in a positive way that I'm experiencing. Okay? And that's why I say it's your deep-rooted beliefs. Listen, guys, it even goes as far as you got to really pay attention to your self-talk. You got to really pay attention what you say to yourself when nobody else is around, when nobody else is listening. When you go through circumstances, either good or bad, what do you say to yourself? You understand, okay? Because listen, in life, you're only experiencing what you believe to be true for you. Listen to this. I'll give you one more example here. Like my mom, I went home. This was a few years ago. I went home to visit her. And when I was away, my sister and my mom was doing this diet, and they were doing the diet for several months. And when I went home, my mom was talking about like she was doing this diet, and I was asking her, how's it going? And when I was asking her these questions, she said something very interesting. This is what she said. She said, I knew from the beginning this diet wasn't going to work. And I was like, what? I was like, huh? And she repeated it. And I stopped my mom. I said, hey, did you just hear what you said? And she said, what? She didn't even know because she was just talking, you know what I mean? And I repeated it to her. I said, you just told me that you knew from the beginning this diet wasn't going to work. And guess what? The diet wasn't working. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, are you doing that? You know what I mean? I do it. If I'm really aware of what I'm doing, going through circumstances, going through my daily life, is I'll catch myself, like a little thought will say something positive or negative. But what you have to understand is that's what you have to experience. What you say, you have to experience. What you say out loud, what you believe to be true for you, you have to experience. Listen, guys, life is going exactly how you say it's going to go. Exactly how you say it's going to go, it's going and moving in that direction. Okay, it's so basic. Like, if you believe something's going to be hard, it's going to be hard for you. If you believe something's going to be easy, it's going to be easy for you. Okay, that's what you have to come to terms with. For some of you, you'll get it right away, even in step one here. And for some of you, you're sitting here and debate with me to death. Well, this isn't true. Okay. And if you want to debate with me, listen, this even goes down a rabbit hole of there is no debating, because what I believe to be true for me, I have to experience, baby. And what you believe to be true for you, you have to experience. Now, let's talk about number 2 here. Now, number 2 is where I started to struggle. Okay. Number 2 is confidence. You have to have the confidence in what you say goes. What you say, you always get. What you say, you always experience. You understand? You have to really believe and have the confidence that whatever decisions I make are the best decisions. Okay, now this actually goes into the negative side of how I was brought up. Okay, remember I told you I had 2 U's. Okay, like when I was growing up and even as an adult, I really struggled with confidence, because the reason why I struggled with confidence is because even though on one side of me, I was living this great life, but on another side of me, I really struggled because how I was raised. Because remember I told you, my dad made all the decisions for me. He basically kind of went above me, okay? Forcefully above me, okay? Now, I did everything he wanted me to do. I followed all his rules, okay? Even if he planned my whole day for me, even if I had plans, I had to break my plans to do what he wanted me to do, okay? But all that did was, as an adult, that I wasn't confident in myself. You understand? I wasn't confident in myself. I wasn't confident like living my own life, because that was never taught to me. I wasn't confident in making my own decisions. I really, for years, I struggled with indecision. I would sit on the fence. I would either let decisions be made for me, either by other people or by circumstances, because you wait too long. And listen, guys, the reason why this hinders manifesting is it's everything is from within you. Everything is from within out, but everything is on your confidence of what you say you get. So what I do in this area is I start making my own decisions, no matter if they're good or bad. Okay. It's just your perception. Okay. I start telling myself, my decisions make me millions, baby. Okay. I start living my life. When I get up, I say, my name is Chad Napier, and everything works out for me. My name is Chad Napier, and all things work out in my favor. My name is Chad Napier, and only great things happen to me. You understand? And you have to kind of do things that help you confidence as well. Maybe it's how you dress. Maybe you dress a certain way, it makes you feel confident. You understand? But the big thing, I don't want to go down the rabbit hole too much, but if confidence is one of those things you have to work on, you severely have to work on it. Okay? Let me give you one more example before we move on. I mean, think about it. Think back to your high school, okay? Now, depending upon how you were in high school, now maybe if you were very popular, you're on the popular side, you played sports. Like for me in high school, I was really into martial arts, but of course I didn't have martial arts in high school. So I was very active, but I was very active outside of high school. But in high school, I was kind of more of a nerd. I wasn't into high school. You understand? But me thinking back to high school, isn't it weird how all the popular kids tended to be very, very confident? You understand? Like the more confident you are, life tends to bend for you. And the reason why it bends for you is because you're just confident in yourself. You're just confident in yourself. You believe in yourself. You believe in yourself when nobody else believes in you. Okay, you believe in your decisions. You believe the way you think is only the right way. You understand? It doesn't matter if we're talking about ego or not. Okay, you understand? But when you think about back to high school, and you think about the most popular kids in high school, they were confident. And you fast forward that into the workforce. Even if you're the smartest people, you're the smartest person at your work, you're the smartest person at your job, but if you're not confident, somebody else comes in and you know they don't even know what the hell they're talking about. But just because they come off confident, people believe them. Reality bends their way. You understand? Number 3 is intuitive action. Okay, we all know at this point, doing forced action, trying to force things to happen doesn't work. Why? Because force causes friction and friction negates from you. Okay, this is so true in the SP world. You're trying to manifest your specific person. You're trying to manifest your soulmate. Okay, what happens when you're all obsessed? You're trying to force it to happen. Well, they run from you. They stay away from you. Okay. So how does intuitive action work? All I mean by intuitive action is when you're focused on whatever you believe to be true, you have to experience. When you're focused on your confidence, okay, what's going to end up happening is you're going to have intuition. You're going to have gut feelings to do stuff. And I want you to take action on it. You're not taking forced action. You're not just running around trying to force things to happen. Okay. And I know this is the dogma in the success world. Okay, is work. You got to work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know what I mean? But the bottom line is, what they're not telling you is most of the time they're taking intuitive action. Most of the time they're listening to their gut, they're listening to their intuition, they're listening to the small ideas they have, and they just take action on it. That's what I want you to do. That's what I want you to start doing. And the question here is, well, Chad, what if I don't feel inspired? I don't have intuition. I'm not having an idea. An idea's not coming to me. You know, a gut feeling's not coming to me. What do you do? And this happens to me, honestly, all the time. But what I do is I take it, like usually it happens to me with work because I work until I'm a little bit burned out. And so what I do is I just stop working. I move on with my life. I do something fun. Sometimes I come in and I take a nap. I just sit down and read a book. Whatever, hang out with your friends. That's what you got to do. You move on with life, but you do things that you enjoy, what you want to do. But every time I do this, listen to this, guys. Every time I do this is lots of times once I start doing this, I have an intuition to do something. I have a gut feeling to do something, and you take action on it. Literally, every time I feel like I'm burned out, like nothing's coming to me, I'm sitting at my computer desk, and I think, you know what, nothing's coming to me. I'm just kind of forcing things. And I think I'm going to go and I'm going to lay on the couch. Maybe I'll play a game on my phone. Guys, every time I do this, I lay down, I get really in tune to my on the game on my phone, or I just lay down, getting ready to take a nap. I'm almost there. I'm almost asleep. And I have this idea. I'm like, holy crap. And I would get up and do the idea. Okay. It's just, you have to be in a relaxed state. That's when intuition, gut feelings come to you. How do you put yourself in a relaxed state? Do what you love. Do what you enjoy. That's what puts you into that relaxed state. And the last one here, guys, is deny, choose, be. Okay, it's that simple. Deny, choose, be. Okay, what do you do when you feel like life sucks? What do you do when you feel like nothing is going your way? What do you do when, Chad, I'm being as positive as I flipping can, and this stuff keeps on happening over here? Okay, I'm doing what you say, but this stuff keeps on happening over here. You deny it. That's what you do. Deny, choose, be. You deny your outside world. You deny the circumstances outside of you. You deny it. You come right back to who you are. You come right back to what you want, how you want it to go. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. is how I do deny choose B anymore is my mind starts drifting down the rabbit hole of Negativeville. I stop it. Once I figure out what I'm doing, I'm aware of what I'm doing, I'm literally like, no, 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 no. I said this, and this is how it's going to happen. That's deny choose B. Listen to this. I'll give you an example. We're getting ready. Right now I'm in Thailand. I'm still in Thailand, by the way. But I'm in Surin. This is a Thai village. This is a Thai house, okay? Like an old Thai house. This is Ang's house, or Ang's family house, okay? But we're getting ready to move and buy a house in Bangkok here. So the main thing, we've been focused on this for the last few weeks, the last month. We're getting ready to move and stuff like that, doing a lot of research where we want to go and live and buy a house and all that stuff. So, but one of the things I tell myself is that Ang and I are moving and buying a house in Bangkok, and we're buying a house before this Songkran New Year. Okay, now Songkran New Year is the Thai New Year in Thailand. Okay, that happens in April. So again, from time to time, I start kind of, every once in a while, my mind will drift off the Negativeville. Every once in a while, I'll start thinking negative around it. Every once in a while, I'll think, well, April's like a month away. Or Songkran, the Songkran New Year, the Thai New Year is about a month away. It's like, and we haven't moved yet. You understand? That you start thinking like it's not going to happen. And deny choose B is like, no, 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 no. And I state, this is why I said it's going to happen. This is what has to happen because I said it's going to happen. Okay? That's how manifesting works. It's what you say and it's what you believe to your core, and it's wrapped around your confidence. Okay, that's why I bring up confidence in here, is because it's your confidence around you always get what you want. Life always goes the way you say it's going to go. Okay, and if you think it's not going the way you say it's going to go, it's just your perception of it. Okay, remember, life is happening for you. Abundance is in everything. There's something for you to learn and walk away with. Okay, so nothing is really a negative. You have to understand that. Okay, but everything's wrapped around with your beliefs, your confidence, your intuition, and deny choose B. That's how simple this stuff is, and that's what you have. Those are the 4 things you need to do. Those are the 4 things you're doing every single day. Other than that, tribe, as we wrap this up, remember, comment below, introduce yourself, and say, how is this stuff working out for you? Or do you feel like everything's going your way? Do you feel like you're manifesting everything you want? And if not, you can say that as well. But 100% introduce yourself, because it's really all about you. It's really all about the community here. It's really all about we all help each other. We all help each other live life on our terms. But other than that, tribe, peace out. Remember, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video.